Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we are diving into a report from Intellia Therapeutics, a company trying to edit our genes for the better. Get ready for a report about a potential cure for a really annoying genetic disorder, hereditary angioedema or HAE. Sounds futuristic, right? But are the results too good to be true? We will decode the promising data, but also the risks involved in betting on this kind of science. Before we start, if you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below if you have more questions or just want to chat. Okay, let's jump right into it. First, the basic details. This report is called an 8K, a type of filing companies use to tell investors about big news. In this case, Intellia is sharing an update on their experimental treatment for HAE. They even included a press release about it, so we know it is important to them. The big news, positive data from a study about their drug called Lonvo-z for short. They're talking about results from their phase 1 trial. This is early stage testing in humans to see if the drug is safe and if it seems to work. The presentation of this data at a big conference in Europe made it important enough to share with the SEC. So, what is HAE anyway? It's a genetic problem where people get really bad swelling attacks, kind of like allergic reactions, but they happen for no clear reason. This drug is a CRISPR-based gene editing therapy. That is a mouthful. It is supposed to be a treatment that changes the DNA in their body with a single dose, so they do not have attacks anymore. They gave the drug to some patients using different doses and then measured how many attacks they had. The patients were attack-free for a median of almost 2 years. Median, to simplify, means roughly the middle value, so half were attack-free for more and half for less. Across all the patients, they saw a 98% drop in the number of monthly attacks compared to before they got the drug. That's huge. Imagine going from having almost daily life-interrupting swelling to almost never having one. That is why it shows it might be really special. The drug also lowered levels of a certain protein in the blood called plasma kallikrein. This protein is linked to HAE attacks, so lowering it is a good sign the drug is working like it should. It's also dose-dependent, meaning the more drug you give, the better the protein decreases. What about safety? Well, some patients had reactions while getting the drug dripped into their veins. They call them infusion-related reactions, but they weren't too serious and got better quickly. No new major safety problems were discovered during all 3 years of follow-up. They're now running a larger phase 3 trial to confirm these results. This one is global and uses a placebo, a fake drug, as a comparison. They even said more than half of the folks screened so far are in the USA. The study is now no longer recruiting patients, so they're likely collecting data now. Intellia hopes to submit an application in 2026 to the FDA, basically asking for permission to sell their drug. They're planning for a possible launch, if everything goes well, in 2027. Here comes the important part. The company wants you to know that all these plans could change. This part of the 8K is like a disclaimer. Specifically, there are many things that could go wrong, risks related to their patents, third parties, regulatory approvals, and simply that the drug might not work as well as expected in the future. Now, looking at these results more broadly, this seems like incredibly promising and positive news for this company. The results from the first group of patients sounds like they are close to an actual cure for a terrible disease. This is also exciting because of its gene editing approach. But remember a few things, it is still early and phase 1 studies are very small. Phase 3 success is anything but guaranteed and 2027 is a long ways away for investors waiting on a drug. Alright, that's our breakdown of Intellia's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.